I am Joe Vagnone, and I'm here with Big Brother Mike Vagnone, and we are talking about IT issues for the entire month. Mike, briefly, let's talk about the company that you're now a principal with and exactly what it is that they do. First, because I wanted all the listeners to hear, you really do know this stuff, right? And now let's talk a little bit about what it is you're actually doing now.
Sure. Wincourse Technologies started about 10 years ago, and a good friend of mine, Mike Vagnone, is the founder and the president of Wincourse Technologies. Mike was a consultant to a lot of large Fortune 500 companies in the area. And what Mike really focused on was building an organization that could provide these enterprise technologies to small and medium businesses. These are the same technology services that large accounts like Bank of America and Wells Fargo and TIAA-CREF and Duke Energy have been using for years, but small businesses could not afford that level of technology. It was just too expensive, didn't have the resources. So Mike started this 10 years ago. Mike and I got involved with one another probably 8 years ago. And about 2 years ago, Mike and I decided to partner up. And so Wincourse Technology specializes in providing technical support, and I can go into more detail, for small and medium businesses. And that's a range of services. But what we really want to do is to learn about your business and find out if, in fact, technology can help you move your business forward, whether that means improve customer service, whether that means identifying real a return of an investment from a technology standpoint, whether that means being able to provide remote access to the data and systems that you need in the field for your employees, whether that means that you need to reduce your cost.
Okay, let's do this because you're starting to bore me, right?
Yeah,
so
got it.
Can you be specific? Can you give me an idea of the one of the clients you can think of on top of your head, exactly what it was you helped them with? Because I think that'll make us small business people be able to grasp this.
Sure. One of the biggest issues that most small businesses have is that they don't have the money or the resources to be able to provide the level of technology that they're looking for. So what ends up happening is that they find a technical person, let's call that person Bob the IT guy. And Bob, the IT guy, comes in and helps you set up the best that he can, right? Puts a server there on your premise, and all your systems are there. And then from time to time, he stops by and he helps you. Right. But inevitably, like technology does, it breaks and something happens. So you need Bob. Well, when you call Bob, Bob's 100 miles away. He's working with some of his other customers, right? And you have to wait. You're not sure what to do. Bob becomes reactive, right?
Right.
In other words, if something breaks, he comes by, but it doesn't really help you to become more proficient in technology. What we do is, in a lot of occasions, we become an IT department for the small businesses.
You replace Bob.
Yeah.
And in the process, you try and make it so if I got a touch point with a client that's 3 times before the close of a sale, you might be able to make it one or two. And the same thing with interaction between either suppliers or employees as well.
We're going to make it to where a lot of that process is automated, and therefore it drives your workflow. It drives your process with your employees. It makes your employees' job easier to be able to do that, whether it's touch points with customers, whether that is improving customer service, whether that is improving the quality of the service or product that you're using.
And you know what I like about what you do? It's kind of fun because if you can get small business people to do what they normally do, which is just dream, right? Forget money. If you could have anything you want, what would you like the system to look like?
That's exactly right.
You can do that, right?
In a lot of occasions, it just depends upon the business. I don't mean to insinuate that Wincourse Technologies is the answer to every technology issue that an organization may have. But in a lot of occasions, one of the biggest problems is you don't really know who to turn to, and you don't really know who to trust. Right? And so to have someone that can provide you with 24/7 by 365 support, someone that's going to be proactive to help you as technology changes and improves, and be able to do that very, very affordable. Most small businesses do not recognize that you can actually secure enterprise level service and technology for less than the cost of a cell phone per month.
Now, you keep using the word enterprise. What do you mean by that?
Enterprise meaning the large enterprise organizations. The same type of technologies that, as I mentioned previously, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TIAA-CREF, that they've been using for decades. You can secure that same level of technology to support your business, but most people don't realize that it's very affordable nowadays based off of technology and some of the services that have evolved, that you can afford it as a small business, but they wouldn't know that.
Okay, so now talk to me about how does Wincourse do that, right? How do you replace Bob and in the same time give me a system, a enterprise system? You like the way I'm using that word?
Yeah.
You know, that's equal to Bank of America.
In a lot of occasions, it's utilizing the cloud. And certainly everybody has heard of the cloud, but the cloud architecture and technology, again, not to bore you, Joe, I know how you get, but the fact is that the cloud technology has now enabled organizations to be able to provide that enterprise level technology that's in a data center and be able to funnel it to small businesses, and it only costs a fraction. You don't have to build that on your own premises. You don't have to buy that equipment. You don't have to have the technology expertise in-house to maintain it. All of that can be done, and it becomes subscription-based model.
I'm finally, maybe small, starting to understand this a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of like sharing a timeshare on a condo or an airplane or something like that.
You know what? Very, very, very close. But recognize that the infrastructure, right, the equipment and all of the software that to run your business from a technology standpoint all resides in a centralized location, and it's managed centralized. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to configure it. You don't have to purchase the professional services to set it up. You don't have to maintain it. You just utilize the services. And so that's a real primary area that we help a lot of small businesses.